Have you ever missed out on doing something that you were really excited to do, but then at the last minute you kind of chickened out, and so you didn't get to experience something that later you saw was actually incredible and awesome? I had some friends years ago that went skydiving, and I had opportunity to go with them, but at the last minute I was like, no, actually I don't want to. But then I got to see the videos of these guys, friends of mine, just jumping out of this plane, and I was like, oh my gosh, why didn't I go do that? Maybe that sounds terrifying to you, but that was something that I felt like I missed out on something really cool that I could have done, and I didn't, because I let some fear get the better of me. I think we do that a lot in our walk with God. God invites us into something, maybe a conversation with somebody, maybe to go on a mission trip, maybe to simply trust Him in a new area of our life, a new path that diverges from what we would expect. Maybe it's a different college that you weren't planning on going to, and you're like, no, I couldn't do that, even though it seems like God's laying out this path for you. Regardless of what it may be, when we fail to trust God and His goodness, and out of fear, we recoil and back up instead of moving forward with Him, we miss out on some really incredible stuff. In the book of Numbers, in the Old Testament, Moses was leading the nation of Israel towards the promised land, and they got up to the border, and they sent in some spies to go and check out the land. They sent in 12 guys, one from each tribe of Israel, and they went and they saw this place is amazing. It's flowing with milk and honey, which just means it was fertile. It had all of the milk and honey you could possibly want. It was really good land. The produce there was incredible. They're like, wow, this is going to be a wonderful place for us to live. But the problem was there are a lot of people that they did not like who lived in that land. Enemies of God lived in that land. And they saw them and they feared. They were terrified, all but two of them, a guy named Caleb and another guy named Joshua. And in Numbers chapter 13, verses 30 through 31, it says, "Then Caleb quieted the people before Moses and said, 'We should by all means go up and take possession of it, for we will surely overcome it.' But the men who had gone up with him said, 'We are not able to go up against the people, for they are too strong for us.'" And because of the testimony of these spies that went and checked the land out, and the majority of them saying, no, we shouldn't go, we can't do it, Israel ended up wandering in the wilderness for 40 years. And nobody from that generation who said, no, we can't do it, we can't go, got to go into the land except for Caleb and except for Joshua. They got to go experience the rest that God had for them in the promised land. And those who feared and backed down, they didn't. What promise are you missing out on in this life because you're too afraid to trust God and believe Him? I think sometimes it's more than we would like. The number of times we've just said, no, God, I can't do it. Forgetting that we are following a God who can do the impossible. We don't need to be able to do it. We just need to trust that God can. And we need to trust that maybe things won't look exactly the way that we want a victory to look in God. But if He is in it, it's exactly where we should be. So don't lose heart. Don't back down. We have this incredible Lord, Jesus Christ, who we follow, who says he already has the victory. So don't be afraid of anything he's inviting you into. Step out in boldness and trust him.